My name's Sean McCauley with Cloud Defensive, and the EPL is kind of the talk of at least our booth here. It's been in development for several years. It's been a thing. What you're going to see here is our EPL duty, and it is pretty cool. I'm a little biased, but I'll just kind of walk you through it from back to front. So the first thing we did here is we changed the toggles. So if you're familiar with a historical Surefire X300 platform or a TLR1 platform with kind of that same toggle concept and activation, to be honest, we weren't happy with that. So we did this differently. So we moved the toggles up and we made them directional. So to activate, you go forward. A couple of reasons we did that. From a shooting standpoint, we're talking about a thumbs forward grip. We didn't want you to have to break down your grip and kind of get funky with it. So with this, it's super ergonomic. I'm still in that good thumbs forward grip. Hopefully the camera picks that up here, but this is in momentary, so it's just press and hold. And then if you want constant, it's just tap to turn on, tap to turn off. You can turn it on one side, turn it off on the other. So whatever you're doing is pretty cool there. The other huge factor that a lot of people might not think about from a safety standpoint with this thing, we're talking about a pistol, very common to only have one hand on the gun. So if my other hand's busy doing something, I need to activate this light, I can tap it very easily, turn it on, do whatever I got to do. If I want to tap it and go constant, I can do that. I can still maintain trigger finger discipline. I can be smart and safe about that. Historically, you had to toggle down, and if you're, let's just say, busy doing something, fingers can get into the trigger, so there's a safety concern there. NDs have happened that way, if we're being honest. So I think there's a very valid ergonomic and safety feature involved with that too. So switching we're pretty proud of. Every EPL is going to come with 2 different sets of toggles, so they're user changeable. You're seeing a pre-production tail cap here, so be a little bit cleaner once you open the box if you buy one. But all you'll do to change those toggles is you'll unscrew that, you'll pop your toggle out, and then you'll also have a longer toggle which creates more standoff and moves that toggle back. So I actually chose this pistol on purpose. If you've got bigger hands on a gun with a bigger back strap or just different geometry there, you'll be able to move your toggles back, and you can still reach that without having to really get funky with your grip. So we're trying to get the ability to optimize the toggles and the controls, because that really matters on a pistol. And if you've been following us, you know that that's been, the back end of the light was the slow part to work on. Moving forward, take it apart if you want to see it, but it's an 18350 rechargeable battery, and we're moving to a integrated USB-C battery, so you can just plug the battery in. Now you don't need chargers, because if you're listening to this, you've probably got 14 of them already. Yeah, we just listen to your feedback there. And then moving forward, you're into the light head and the performance. So 1200 lumens, it's a lot of light. 52,000 candela minimum, probably be a little bit higher, but just kind of work on that number with one really important feature and focus with that 52,000. This is a pistol light, real world applications. We actually dialed it back to 52 on purpose. We just were not happy with, I think we had them over 70 at one point, but that's a really cool number. Not so cool when you're talking about how you're using this thing. You know, you go to the range, it's really cool to be able to light something up, but then you get into a shoot house, you get into a busy environment, you get to work around vehicles. It's like that hot spot was so small that it was constraining, and I think it was a liability, and we just didn't like it. So we said, well, let's just diffuse it a little bit, and this is where I don't know what the camera's going to pick up. We could try to pick it up, but the hot spot on this is truly substantial in size, and the farther you go out, the bigger that gets. If you want to get creative here, I can point it up at the ceiling and you might be able to get it.
Let's see what happens.
I'll just go up to one of the catwalks there.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
it's a massive hot spot, so it'll light up an entire human at whatever range we're at there
Pop that on and off so we can see that.
is reasonable.
Perfect. We got it. Okay.
So yep, so yeah, you can kind of see that. So a very diffuse, very large hot spot. It'll light up a whole automobile, people, whatever. Give you that situational awareness. That's absolutely mission critical. And at 52,000 candela, it's actually more powerful than our first Owl rifle light. So you've got rifle level candela, but a much larger hot spot, much more spill. And I don't have to tell you, I mean, with lights, seeing's believing. So like, you get it. I really wish they'd turn out the lights in here for like an hour. and I think everybody'd say, oh, okay, I get it. Like, we're pretty proud of it, but it did kind of take a little bit of discussion internally, and I think there's an educational component there, because everybody's been so locked on that candela number that it's really easy to just focus on that and lighting up a wood line or something at distance, and it's like, well, that's cool, but that's not how you're using it, and this is life or death tool for a lot of people. This is a duty light. Like, you really got to consider that. So we're going to hammer on that pretty hard and try to talk about the importance of having all those lumens, having enough punch to do everything you want it to do, and if there's a kind of proofs in the pudding on why it's the enhanced version, the enhanced pistol light. The overall concept here was to give you better ergonomics, more switching options. We wanted to improve the power source. We wanted to give you no longer a decision between a high candela and low lumen light versus a high lumen and low candela light. We give you tons of lumens, we give you tons of candela, and it's 269 bucks. So there you go. And we're going to make them as fast as we can. I know everybody wants to know when they're going to be ready. What I'm not going to do is make a promise and miss, not after all this time. We've got production tooling going right now. We're waiting for first articles. As soon as we get confirmations on all the tolerances, this is the geek stuff, we hit the green light, we make them, we make a bunch of them, and we go. So it's coming.